Hello, welcome back to More Fun Fixing It. Here we are today with another Triage episode. This time it's 4 Commodore machines. One of these I think has been here before. This one has a C64C keyboard in it, and this bread bin keyboard has a C64 case around it, which is nice. And the last one is just a standard bread bin with a black screen. So these should be fun. Now, I'm doing these ones so that I can have a little bit more practice on fixing Commodore 64s before I get onto the silver labels. And I'll show you a little bit of news about those now. But first of all, let's just get all of these off the bench. Whoop, 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 whoop. This video is sponsored by PCBWay. Now, you'll know PCBWay for their PCB manufacturing, assembly, and even 3D printing. But one of my favourite features on their site is the shared projects section. It's like a community library where makers and engineers post their PCB designs. You can browse through thousands of projects, get inspiration for your own builds, or even order the boards directly. If you've designed something yourself, you can upload it and share it with the world, and even earn a little commission when other people order your design. It's a brilliant way to give back to the community, discover clever design ideas, and maybe even make your own project more widely used. So next time you're on PCBWay, check out the shared project section. You'll be amazed what people are building. Right, so first of all, I've got my test machine here, which is all socketed. Everything that needs to be socketed is socketed. And I have the silver label that I've been promising I'm going to fix for quite some time. I will get round to it, I promise. It's still waiting. It hasn't changed. I've still got all of the bits. Although, I'm not sure where the screws are. What do I do with the screws? Oh, the screws will be in a safe bag somewhere. I'll find them. And the RF shield is still here as well. I am going to put this wall, at least, I don't know if putting it back in is a good idea, but it will go back with the machine, and whoever ends up with this C64C silver label, very early serial number. Let me show you the serial number. There you can see 0882, made in West Germany. In here are 1, 2, 3, 4 more silver labels. Now, none of these have got the 5-pin DIN in the video socket. These are all later boards. So they're not the most desirable silver labels, but they are all still silver labels. This one, for instance, 19245, made in West Germany. Or, yeah, made in West Germany. So what I'm going to do today is triage the 4 over on the waiting workbench over there. Triage those, then I'm going to triage these ones in the next Wednesday video, and then you should start seeing some silver labels mixed in with the standard ones. What I mean by that is that you're going to see, one week you'll see one of the, say, this one, and the next week you're going to see a silver label. Right, so let's have a look and get into, oh, there's bits. Is there anything going to fall out? Yes. Yeah, there's some broken bits in here. Just the 2 screws. I reckon that that post is missing. How many case clips do we have? Oh, I think. Oh, that one's gone. These 2 are still here. This one always goes. That one's always tight. That's what's rattling around inside here. It is a screw post. This one's bad. This one's bad. This one's still here but looks bad. And all of the keyboard ones look stressed. I might have to reinforce all of them. It's not a healthy top case, that one. Okay, so it had, well, as Paul says, no picture, strange internal wires and peephole. So this is the peephole. These are the strange internal wires, and I'm guessing this is some kind of reset. I don't know though, but that is, isn't that the 5 volt there? No, that must be ground. Can soon test that. So that one, is that ground? Yeah. So that's ground. That must be grounding. I don't know, reset, I suppose. I don't know whether that is, but cool. They've soldered right onto that. I'm just going to remove those altogether. That's not a very friendly thing to do. So anyway, what have we got in here? We've got a fuse that looks possibly intact. We can test that right now. The fuse is broken. Ha! Bad fuse. Haven't had a bad fuse for a while, actually. The multimeter is on beep mode. Fuse is bad. So we've got a 1984 SID and 84 PLA. Yeah, everything else is 1984 in here. Everything is not socketed, but we haven't got any MOS chips. No MOS logic. We haven't got any MT RAM. Oh, there's one MOS logic there. That at U8, that's 7406. Well, it's 7707 there. I've got to get into the habit of checking the VIC is in its socket. I have had one that's actually popped out of its socket in transit and been rattling around in this can. So before I give this any power, let's just take that off. One socketed chip in here as well. That's often socketed. One little clue here, or a little hint here. These are pretty reasonable heat sinks. These, you know, don't do a terrible job. But this obviously loses its spring and doesn't press hard enough against the top of there. I'll put some more thermal grease on this before I put it back. But it's a good idea to bend this away just a little bit, just to give it a little bit more pressure on there. But it's a really bad idea to do it without supporting here, because if you pull this, these are just very mildly riveted in place. And if you pull here, that will just pull the whole thing off. So just bend it by putting a bit of pressure there and then just bending that away just a touch. Right, so we need a fuse. Here's a brand new, it's the right one. I bought these special from CPC. I can't remember whether they're slow blow or fast blow, but you have to make sure you get the right kind of fuse when you're working with these. I'm just going to go for it. I can't see any reason here not to plug this in. Things I would be looking for would be blown voltage regulators, any signs of burning, any signs of leaking caps, any chips or anything that look in poor condition, but everything looks okay in here. There's not many screws left. Two screws left. Two screws missing here and one missing over there. Right, so let's put some power in it and turn it on now. Oh, basic. Basic ROM's missing. Let's try some diagnostics. Okay, Des test switch is running nicely. Ha! Look at that. That's picked up the basic ROM is faulty straight away. Okay, well, I'm going to let that run through to the end just so that I could give it a full clean bill of health in that regard. But I'm not going to connect up the test harness to this one because I won't be able to get it on there without cleaning off these wires, and I'll leave that for the actual video. But that's picked up that the basic ROM is... sorry, Matt, I'm really sorry. I still haven't put the updated version of Des Test switch on here. I will do that. Right, looks like that's passed. I'm actually just digging around in my parts bin here for ROMs to update some of the diagnostics ROMs that I've got here, because Matt Desmond has sent me some interesting stuff. Right, I went away and I found some ROMs and I reprogrammed actually the ROM inside the Des Test switch. And that is now running on the latest version. It did exactly the same thing. I think that the version I had was a test version that Matt gave me some time ago, but now I've got the latest. And I think that test version is the same as or very similar to the latest version that he's released recently. And yeah, that's all fine. He has sent me some other stuff, some modified dead test files, which I was going to put on this spare Diag 64 cart that I have. This is my old one. This is the one I use now, which has got Dead Test Max on it. And this one's got Dead Test and Diagnostics and 1541 Diagnostics and something else. And I'm not even sure what this something else is. I don't use this one very much because this one's got like no RAM check and it's just set up really nicely for me. So I'm going to try and rebuild this 27C256, and I'm going to put on some of these different versions of Dead Test that he's modified, but I'll do that when I've got a bit more time. So maybe I'll do that for one of the silver label triage video, or the silver label triage video. Anyway, this is running fine and it's still saying basic ROM is faulty. So let's put this one away because it is triaged. Really, really like this keyboard in here. Really like that. So I've already put the screws in a bag. Bad basic ROM, and I've replaced the fuse. That one is ready to be fixed. Let's have a look at this one. Black screen. So this is the bog basic bread bin normal keyboard, and 304,000 serial number. Yeah, all the clips, I mean, they look really weak. There's cracks across them, and that one is really cracked. I don't think they'll survive, but they are there. It's a bit dusty. We've got two multiplexers in sockets. Oh, Commodore! The SID is soldered to the board. There's no can on the VIC-2. There's a lot of cobwebs in here. Cobwebs gone. Beep, beep, beep. Fuse is good. Next, plug it in. See what it does. Oh, no sockets. Oh, I've not had one for ages, which has been all socketed. Black screen. Excellent. Des test is running. And I could see briefly at the bottom of the screen there that the time of day clocks were matching up. So the CIAs are good up to a point. That's a really good start, actually. Why is that transistor hanging up in the air like that? Okay, the kernel ROM. The kernel ROM is reporting a fault on that one. Wow, Des test switch is doing a cracking job of diagnosing these so far. Excellent. Right, out of curiosity, oh no, I don't need to take that out. Out of curiosity, what does the normal diagnostics make of the kernel ROM? It shouldn't actually run, I don't think. No, black screen. But what dead test should run? Yeah. So the kernel ROM's gone pop in this one. That's the basic ROM in the other one, in the last one, and the kernel ROM in this one. I don't have sound hooked up. I should probably do something about that. I thought it tested the... Oh, okay, maybe it doesn't test the noise channels, but the sound channels, the tones, music channels, the 3 voices are working on this SID, so I'm hopeful that's going to be okay. So it looks like just the kernel ROM is at fault there. Everything else is tested so far. At first glance, it seems to be okay. I'm happy to put this one to one side and just say that that's all it needs. And I'll probably combine this one with the one that has the basic ROM that needs sorting out and put those into the same episode. Now, is it kernel or kernel? Because there's one way is the right way of spelling it, and the other way is the way that Commodore spells it. But I'm going to call it kernel. Bad. I think it's E. I don't know. I can't remember. But it's one of those things that whatever way you do it, someone on the internet gets upset. You've done it wrong. That's not how you spell it. You've done it wrong. That's not how Commodore spelled it. Oh, I need to take this apart first. What am I doing? So we've got the C64C. Curious to see if this is a short board or a long board. And because, you know, this is a bread bin keyboard in it. I wonder if that came with it. It's really curious. It's also got this really funky stick-on key joystick, which I'm going to take off because it's... I don't want to damage it. No, I'll leave it there for now. It can just be stuck back on, but it's not really in the way. Okay, it's an earlier C64C, one with screws in rather than the really cost-reduced one. And it looks like there's PCB all the way to, oh no, that's the back of the keyboard I can see there. So I don't know, I still don't know. I think the long board only comes to here anyway, so I wouldn't be able to tell, but it has got an RF shield inside there as well. No, this is going to be a bit more awkward. It's got clips on the side of this, a bit like an Amiga 600, or an Amiga 600 is a bit like this. There we go. But these don't usually break. Not often. I haven't seen them break too often. Oh yeah, of course, this is the one with the big metal shield in it, and that's fine. Oh no, this isn't normal. This is not normal. Well, this keyboard definitely isn't normal. It shouldn't... I don't know. No, that shouldn't be in it, but it looks like it's always been part of that. If it was one that went over to this side, then that would be... I don't know. Maybe someone took it out and moved it from the other case. It would make sense if they did come together. If Paul picked these up together, then maybe someone thought, oh, I wonder if that keyboard would look nice in that case, and swap them over, which is what I would do because it's just really nice. So yeah, it's a short board with the full RF shield. Don't know what's going on there. They don't want to move. They're actually attached to the top of the RF shield, so I've got to take this whole thing out. And I think I'm going to have to put it back in as well. Hate these things. Look, that's not even touching the chip. That's just bent up. They're horrible. They just keep heat on the board. You get a load of hot chips under here, and this just ends up being an oven. Nicely insulated with very little ventilation. And reflecting the heat back in. It's bad design. I'm sure it did a great job at stopping RF interference, but yeah, in terms of doing any, well, I mean, they probably didn't have very many failures in the first 3 years, and after that they really didn't care. Yeah, that's riveted on. I've not seen that before. They're riveted onto this shield. Okay. Right, so here's the board that I'm much less familiar with. But this is the one with the color RAM is not part of the PLA, the Super PLA. We've got socketed chips, so the SID is socketed. That's the CPU, I think. Let me just clean the goop off of this. Yeah, that's the 8500 CPU. This is the VIC-2, and this is the SID. And we've got two CIAs here. I think that's the kernel and character, or kernel on basic, or kernel on character, and this is the other ROM. A timing chip there, couple of memory chips, some logic, and the color RAM. See if the fuse is intact. The fuse is dead. Another dead fuse. I don't know why it's blown. We'll find out. I don't know what this is. What's this? Random pieces of brown paper inside here with associated dust. So that's why this had a black screen. The main reason this had a black screen. And off. Yeah. Here we go. Yeah, and it works. That's just a bad fuse. No, right, I'll let Des test Max. Des test Switch run through its thing. But I will give this a full diagnostics with the test harness and everything off camera. Make sure it's all right. Okay. Sometimes the fixes can be very boring. I've got one more to do. Yeah, this one, I think it's got my sticker on it. I'm pretty sure I've worked on this one. I think it needs a new clip. So these clips must have been okay. It must have been the original ones, and I've replaced these ones. And then these have just got snapped whilst it's been worked on. It's got this SID in it. I don't have any recollection of this SID at all. But apparently the SID doesn't work. I need to check that CIA as well. So this isn't going to be... well, I'll switch this one on after that's finished and see exactly what happens. But I don't think it's going to be very exciting. But this is the way it goes sometimes. Sometimes you get a whole bunch of really, really tricky machines like I did last time. And sometimes you get some nice simple repairs, a bad RAM chip or a bad kernel ROM or a bad basic ROM or two broken fuses. Oh, right. Count 001. It's got through there without any errors. So let's turn that one off. Quickly turn this one on and see what happens. Okay, that gets to that screen, so let's see if I can make it make any noise. Oh! Yeah, that's a really badly dead SID. So I'll have to rebuild I'll have to build a SID-kick Pico for this. I've got a few here ready to be built, but that's just probably an evening's work. I might do that on a live stream at some point. Okay, so the next triage video will be C64 silver labels, and that one could be interesting, or it could just be a bunch of broken fuses. What are you going to do? Okay, I hope you enjoyed that. I think that's enough for this one, and I'll see you in the next one. I hope you're enjoying the content at the moment. I'm enjoying it. It's all really matters, isn't it?